Hi, my name is Angelica Peralta Ramos from La Nación newspaper in Argentina. I lead the data journalism team and also coordinate the Nature Project team. So we are going to talk about how data journalism and the cross-section strategy is helping tell the climate and biodiversity crisis stories. So first of all, a short video as an introduction.
In order to position the climate and biodiversity crisis as the main issue of our times, La Nación developed a whole strategy and named it the Nature Project. Our disruptive plan lies in that there is no specific section or dedicated environmental reporter. It's a cross-sections and platforms coordinated project. We want climate crisis issues to meet our readers' attention, wherever they are consuming content in different sections such as politics, business, arts, agriculture, etc. The project is coordinated by the LN Data Journalism team. We work on three big axes: climate change, biodiversity, and participation. Since its launch, we have developed more than 500 pieces, ranging from articles, editorial, opinion, interviews, graphics, data, social media, cable TV, and a recently released artificial intelligence-driven project mapping solar farms with machine learning. One of our main goals is to connect scientists with the community. Consequently, we have been developing different projects around IPCC, IPBES, and the UN ODS for 2030 that translate and make its concepts more accessible and understandable to people who demand precise information on this crisis. In addition, for meeting the needs of our community, we based our pitches on the PIT agenda, but also with emails, calls with NGOs, crowdsourcing, and audience engagement in social media. During 2019, we partnered with the International Alliance Covering Climate Now from Columbia Journalism Review and the 60 Now projects from Avina Foundation. Accountability is crucial for us. Therefore, this project is basically based on the demand of government's transparency and compromise in changing behaviors and habits towards climate. We are constantly monitoring legislation and budget while pushing the government to open information and data in order to urge policymakers to act. Finally, we think that this strategy is the best way to speed up the climate emergency awareness in Argentina, but this crisis is global. Data, legislation, and indicators should tend to be published in comparable standards. The Nature Project is ambitious and hopeful. Let's collaborate to make the impossible possible.
So we are based in three axes: climate emergency, biodiversity crisis, and participation. And we organized this because we found that there are lots of, based in the Sustainable Development Goals down, lots of goals, targets, metrics, dashboards that all can tell and support the climate emergency story, like these different sources. And in the biodiversity crisis as well, targets, the Aichi targets, the IPBES, the IUCN, all these different sources, and also new tools that enrich our stories and can help make nature accountable, like iNaturalist and eBird, that are citizen science applications. So now we also cover these events like Paris, the COPs, different COPs, and the climate change conferences. So we will believe we can be, there's an opportunity to be a bridge between scientists and the community. So for this, we have been developing different projects that translate or make this concept more accessible to the general public. For example, national and international goals, data sets and metrics, scientific evidence, legislation and budget. How can citizens participate if they don't understand, or if they really don't know what is happening with these targets and metrics? Also, we partner with the Covering Climate Now. That is it's a network of more than 400 media in the world to tell these stories. And we also partnered with Avina Foundation in the action, calling to action on the 6D, Global Climate Action. So in our project Nature, we organize in different, like an agenda of different topics for each of these axes. For example, GHG for climate emergency, we are speaking about GHG emissions and explaining what is the problem, energy sectors, water, responsible production, transport, infrastructure, sustainable cities, ozone layer, waste, sustainable tourism, agro-industry. In biodiversity, about ocean, protected areas, forests, earth, birds, soil, trees, species in extinction, ecosystems, national parks, and invasive alien species. And regarding participation, beach cleaning, responsible consumption, plastic recycling, reforestation, energetic efficiency, legislation, budget, citizen science, shore cleaning, cities waste, well, arts, nature, and climate strike, everything we can do to participate and raise these voices. So in these three big axes, we work in different platforms and social media, and we also act inside our stories, like we participate in reforestation and in rewilding or in different, covering different strikes. So with IPCC, this is an example that we are explaining what Greta means about speaking about the page 108 of the section 2 on the IPCC 1.5. Well, we explained it to you in Spanish and in plain. So also we introduce the different species. We love this talking about species and really raising awareness of what we are missing when the fires are really hitting our species that are endangered species, and we really want to introduce them and getting our audience to know what's happening with them. Also the endangered species in Argentina. Also we cover IPBES and different scientists that are warning about the problems of biodiversity and the problems of the missing parts of ecosystems. And regarding protected areas, we really believe that there is a need. This is a movement of 13 global conservation organizations that call the nations to protect at least 30% of the planet by 2030. And this call is really important for the biodiversity and to recover ecosystems and keep us safe. It's also related to health and everything, but we are telling this story as well. And well, different infographics, and we tell the living planet also report in different infographics and graphics. We use, for example, the NASA to tell the local fires stories and how before and after, and how this is really a problem in Argentina as well. We also use FOIA requests to ask which national parks are, how many visitors are going to national parks, which are open, which are closed, and more details. And also we raise the voice of young activists to save us from to drown in the plastic, for example, and how to make these bottles filled with plastic. They are called bottles of love. And also to clean shores and clean the coasts, and reforestation in social media. And also we really tell different stories about people who are making difference, like educating or doing different efforts to save ecosystems or protected areas, like these cases. And we really want to not humanize, but like tell these emotional stories about those species, those individuals that are returning into their ecosystems. So from a zoo to her ecosystem, this one case of Sandra, and also Mara, that is her elephant. We did different infographics, and we followed we tracked all the her way back to and this video is a summary of that.
Tranquila, Chancha.
So this is an example of how we coordinate production with our travel magazine that is Lugares. They cover these stories in videos, and we share it all together, of course. So when we came to know different technologies and data that can help support as evidence, and not only support to tell the story, but also to investigate, to monitor, like Global Fishing Watch or Global Forest Watch, for example. So, and everyone can use this data and participate in these projects. Also, we know that many research and many labs in universities are working and demonstrate as well as how as proof how machine learning and artificial intelligence can help environmental monitoring. And also we are open to tell these stories and demonstrate these technologies as well. Like this case, like Deep Solar Database that inspired our case in Argentina, that we use artificial intelligence to map these solar parks and how they are growing in Argentina. This is another case in which IoT, sensors, and TensorFlow audio also can help monitor deforestation. We want to take some takeaways from this. That cross-sections and multi-platform strategy is key to reach every topic and every news section. That we have to position biodiversity as well as climate crisis and introduce this problem as well. To position the SDGs and make our countries accountable for goals and targets. To act as bridges for the scientific communities. To open collaboration with universities and specialized NGOs and foundations, because they really have a lot of research and a lot of know-how, and we need it to tell these stories. And to be open to partner with startups, initiatives that are experimenting, and labs to demonstrate how data science, GIS, IoT, and AI can help monitor and take care of the state of nature. Monitor environmental legislation and budgets, and raise the voice of citizen participation and movements that help educate or implement practical solutions to solve environmental problems. In the end, data is everywhere. We love to say that. So together we can use it to activate change. So thank you very much.